Did you say that? Good morning. Welcome to the October 28th regular session of the Board of Supervisors. Roll call, please.
Kurtenbach.
Here.
Leyland. Schwartz.
Here.
Grant.
Here.
Paul.
Here. Please join for a moment of silence and reflect on this morning's actions. Please stand if you're able. Join for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 1, agenda received as proposed or as amended. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carries. Item 2, public comments. This is a portion of the meeting for anyone to address an item that is not on this morning's agenda, either in the room or online. Seeing none, we'll move to proclamation for the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Postal Service. Ms. Showalter has so graciously agreed to read
The brief remarks. Proclamation on the 250th anniversary of the United States Post Office. Whereas 2025 is the year of the 250th anniversary of the creation of the United States Post Office, the predecessor of the modern Postal Service, 1 year earlier than the founding of the country itself and later enshrined in the U.S. Constitution. And whereas the Postal Service has played a significant role in the historical development of the country from the establishment of roads, railways, and airlines, and a vital part of the fabric binding together the people of the country. And whereas the Universal Service Obligation, USO, and current law, which enables the population to receive equal and affordable services no matter who we are or where we live, is a democratic right of the people. And whereas the U.S. Postal Service serves 169 million addresses 6 and sometimes 7 days a week. And whereas USPS does not receive taxpayer money, but rather runs on its own revenue created by postage and postal products. And whereas due to its public mission, the Postal Service is the low-cost anchor of the $1.3 trillion mailing and package industry, which supports 7 million jobs across the country. And whereas the Postal Service is an important source of good, union, living wage jobs with fair hiring practices and equal pay for equal work for workers from all walks of life, and is one of the largest employers of veterans. And whereas any effort to privatize the USPS in whole or in part would undermine the very public mission of the Postal Service, the Universal Service mandate, and the dedicated work of hundreds of thousands of public servants. And whereas while communication habits are always changing, the USPS remains a vital source of communications, the exchange of ideas, financial transactions, private and secure correspondence, mail order medications, mail-in voting, and e-commerce packages, and a host of opportunities for new and expanded services. And whereas the United States Postal Service is owned by the people and is a wonderful national treasure, encapsulating the best of government of, by, and for the people. Therefore, it be resolved that on this 28th day of October 2025, the Black Hawk County Board of Supervisors goes on record in support of the public mission of the USPS, contained in the 1970 Postal Reorganization Act, which says, the United States Postal Service shall be operated as a basic and fundamental service provided to the people by the government of the United States, authorized by the Constitution, created by Act of Congress, and supported by the people. The Postal Service shall have as its basic function the obligation to bind the nation together. And be it further resolved that this body appreciates the role of the U.S. Postal Service on its 250th anniversary, salutes the hardworking postal workers from all walks of life who serve the people and the business community, and supports a robust and thriving public postal service for generations to come.
So moved.
We were supposed to have some folks here from the post office and APWU as well, and I don't see them, so I'm not sure what happened.
Well, we do have a motion to approve the
So moved.
proclamation. Is
That's so moved. Got a
Yes.
motion and a second. Did you have something, Chris?
Yeah, I'll just add, I'm really happy to support this today. My grandmother, Ruth Schwartz, was one of the first female postmasters in the country in her small post office of Cedarville, Illinois. And my late husband, Logan, was a rural postal carrier for a while. And so very happy to support this, among other family. I'm sure most people have some family that was connected to the Postal Service somehow.
We've got a motion and a second.
Second, sorry.
Between Richie and Chris. Do we, proclamation, we just do a motion, or a resolution, correct? Or roll call?
No, unless you want one.
All in favor of approving the proclamation, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Did you want a photo?
Sure.
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 The day I wear a hoodie, Gabby.
What's that?
So the day I wear a hoodie and sweatshirt.
Here, borrow this.
We'll just put it right in front of you. Yeah. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
I should have known better.
Let's keep an extra room in your office. All right. Item 4, claims and payments, resolution of the Board of Supervisors approves expenditures and that the county auditor be authorized and directed to issue payments against the various settlements of such claims as allowed.
So moved.
Second.
Sweet.
Good morning, Board. Our total bill payment today is $504,553.88. Out of that, we are paying $2,912.89 from the 60/40 fund. We don't have a lot of significant expenses today, but there were a couple I would mention. I don't typically talk about this one, but North Iowa Juvenile Detention, where we house a lot of juveniles, has a pretty large payment for August, $44,066.48. And the road department purchased the diesel hammer and leads that was approved for $88,096.05. And they also purchased the wood chipper for $86,805.52. Let's see. Not too many ARPA expenses this week. Paying towards the Washburn pump panel upgrades, $8,965. We have 72 of those in place now, which is about half, and I believe all the materials have been purchased. Making a final payment to Baker Tilly for their assistance for $750. And I think that's all the significant things today. Everything appears to be in order. Any questions for me today?
All right, this is a resolution. Roll call, please.
Grant,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Kurttenbach,
Yes.
Hall.
Yes. Item 5, receive project updates from department heads and elected officials.
Good morning, Board. Kathy Nicholas, engineer. I'd like to introduce our newest civil engineering technician, Admiral Kosakovich. He's a somewhat recent graduate of Hawkeye Community College in their civil engineering technology program. He's been with us a few weeks working on CAD. He's going to be doing a lot of CAD and design for us, and then in the summer months, he's going to be out on our construction projects such as asphalt overlay projects, bridge work, that type of thing. So we're hoping that we can offer him a rewarding and challenging career with us, and he'll stay with us for 30 years. In other news, we have completed our 6 local option sales tax informational meetings last week, and our bridge crew is busy on Quarry Road doing some rehabilitation work to that small bridge. And then our plow trucks are ready. They should be ready by Friday for anything that frozen might come out of the sky. And the secondary roads crews are busy getting the gravel roads into shape for the colder temperatures, which are sure to come. Can I answer any questions? Thank you.
Congrats at the start of your 30-year career.
Yeah.
Good morning, Amanda Bessemer, HR Director. A couple updates. So we sent out our employee incentive Employee Wellness Incentive Program survey. This is an interest survey. So like I talked about a couple weeks ago with the board, got the okay to move forward with evaluating this program. So we're collecting information through the end of this month. So far we've had 120 responses, which is great. It's about 30% of our active workforce that have responded to the survey. Next month, we're also going to do kind of a focus group with the Sheriff's Office. So I'm partnering with Nate, Sheriff Neff, to bring this focus group kind of workshop on the Wellness Incentive Program to roles that typically aren't able to attend a lot of our trainings or some of our focus groups sessions just due to the 24/7 nature of their role. We'll also have an area where they can talk about things not wellness related. Maybe there's other things they want to talk about within the Sheriff's Office that, and then we'll also have another focus group for the remainder departments following this survey, likely potentially November or early December. Action planning, so we met with the champions last week, and the last board meeting it was mentioned to have an update from the action plan, groups. So we're planning to have that on November 18th. So if we could have that on, or if there's any scheduling conflicts with the board office, but we're planning to bring that update. It will likely be a presentation from the 4 champions, and we'll just be giving kind of an update of where we're at in the progress and what our next steps are. Let's see there, and then we're about halfway through our leadership university training, and I want to acknowledge that Supervisor Kurtenbach, thank you for attending those. They've been really well received. The veterans conference room has worked out wonderfully. We really appreciate being able to use that space. We've got 3 more sessions that will complete the leadership training for this current cohort, and then be talking about at budget time, looking at the next round for the upcoming fiscal year. Any questions on the survey or focus group, action planning, or?
On the survey, it seems like a pretty good amount of a response, isn't it? Did you guys have a number you're hoping for or expecting?
Well, I'm glad we've had 120, but I'm going to send a couple more out, just reminders, because more better. But that is, I would say, enough 30% response to kind of make some decisions, or at least kind of get a grasp of what people are interested in. But yeah, I have sent surveys out before. I know we've done, like, for example, our GAPM, I think we were at 60-some%, so, this is lower than that. But I also recognize wellness may not be everybody's interest. So, but yeah, so I think that's pretty good. So, but thank you for asking again. All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, Board. Roy Giving, Facilities Director. Just want to give you a couple updates with the courthouse here. Just want to say thank you to everybody for being patient with us with regards to the temperature control. We are in the process of updating that system, and so unfortunately that leaves us a little flying blind in the system. So we are doing the best we can to accommodate warmer days, cold days, back to back. It gets a little tricky when you're dealing with a building of this size, but we're hopeful within the next 2 weeks that system will be up and running and complete. So looking forward to that. Over at Pinecrest, we had our punch list walkthrough on the first floor east and the second floor annex last week. For the most part, everything went pretty well. Had a few minor things that they needed to correct, but they're delivering furniture this week, and we're hopeful within the next 2 weeks we can start getting some of the health department workers moved down to their new spaces. The demo work for the clinic started a few weeks back, and that is still in process. So far, nothing too surprising has popped up from that demo. We're keeping our fingers crossed that continues to stay that way. Over at the jail, again, controls for the temperature system, they are still on track for the end of this year to get that system up and completed. So that's been a very large project over there, and we have several contractors in and out of that building every day. So just a big shout out to our staff too for all the extra effort in watching those contractors every day and making sure they need to get where they need to. So yeah, Any questions on any of that?
Roy, I do have a question. I know later down, we have, some change orders we're approving.
Yeah.
Coming from the world I come from in the construction side, there was one change order there for an outlet in the conference room. That change has been in the electrical code for several cycles. And it seems to me that's kind of ridiculous that they missed that, and now it's coming back as a change order.
Is that the floor?
Yeah.
Location? Yeah, that kind of stems back to the original, design of that area. It was going to originally be one large conference room. What we discovered during our pre-bid, walkthroughs is the, work to support, a large area like that, just the concrete support that would go underneath of that, would have been, well over 6 digits in order to do that. And so we had to essentially take both of those areas and split them up in two. And it sounds a little silly, but when it's called a conference room, you do have to provide outlets in the floor. If it's a multi-purpose room, you do not. So it's all in the nomenclature and how you classify a room. And so things did have to kind of change, and I get what you're saying, there are some frustrating ones that pop up that you wish that would get caught, but there was a little behind the story, issues on this one.
All right.
So, yep.
Rory, the sort of smell when you first come into the building?
That is, again, that's part of us not having controls of the building, and believe me, we're in the ceilings, we're trying to figure out if it's a balancing situation of exhaust and supply. Are we overpressurizing the building, pulling exhaust fumes out of the sewer? It's a little bit of a mystery as to why it's lingering in the stairwells, because those are separated off from the HVAC system, but we are looking into it, and again, thank you for everybody's patience.
Thank you.
Good morning, Gabby DeWitt, Marketing Coordinator. First, a reminder, there is a food drive going on right now. There are 3 bins in Blackhawk County where staff can make donations. The 2 at Pinecrest and 1 in the micro market in the basement, which is a really good opportunity for staff to also visit the micro market. But with impending cuts to SNAP in the next week, the food bank will need our support more than ever, and so we're looking forward to having really good participation. That bin, the bin will be picked up, I believe, on Monday, November 3rd. And then I just wanted to touch base. I sent an email with some estimates from the sign company about the signage. My intent is to put this on the agenda for next week if that's if that's what the board would like, to talk about it more. Mostly, I had them measure out the basement, conference room, the one next to assessors, and the IT conference room, but I'm not certain where that would come from, and if the board even wanted signage in there, similar to what we have here on the wall, but in a smaller scale, because it would all be on one wall. We talked in the basement one of doing it on the 2 far walls, so that would be not so repetitive. But to answer some of Linda's questions about it, everyone, to an extent, was given the opportunity to have public signage. Every department has the mission and values similar to the card that we have in their staff area. It replaced the GAP M. So every department has that, but not every department has public-facing areas. And so we were really talking to the departments who had public-facing areas that, you know, if you go to the recorder's counter, if you go to the auditor's counter, from the desk you would be able to see the mission and values. And those departments know and will be involved in the design of their area and also will be responsible for the cost. And so out of the money that was rolled over from last fiscal year, my intent was to pay for the exterior windows downstairs as you're coming into the courthouse, similar to like a wrap that goes through the windows, the back wall here, and then the windows outside of our board office. One of Linda's comments was that she didn't want to approve anything without seeing a draft. We wouldn't go to print without approval of a draft, but we can't get them to create a design without the acceptance of the estimates, because the design is part of that cost. Of course, you're not going to ask them to put hours into designing and feedback and drafts and such and not pay them for that time. So the design is part of that cost, and then they would print it out. So, but I'll put it on the agenda for next week, but I just wanted to give you that update and put a little more context to the email I sent. Okay, very good, thank you.
All right, any department heads online?
I can give
Oh,
I'd like to just do a
Yes.
quick update. Audit progress is moving along well. It's a long process, but we're getting there. And then we are getting close on getting all the information for the community funding application, so possibly by next week we'll be able to start looking at those compilations. So I think I will compile it, when I have them all, I'll compile them and just send them out, and then you can choose what you want to do after that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Moving on to minute approval for the October 21st, 2025 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Item 7, consent agenda. The items listed below will be acted upon by a single resolution without separate discussion unless someone from the board or the public requests that a specific item be considered separately.
So moved.
So moved?
Second. Second, roll call please.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Kurttenbach,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Hall.
Good morning. Yes.
I really wanted to say Leyland.
Item 8A, a resolution to approve the proposal for Drive Savers data recovery to provide professional services at a cost of $34,000 and authorize the chair to sign as recommended by Ally U, IT Director.
So moved.
Second.
Second?
Morning, Board. Back in June, the board approved a resolution to engage with a company to perform a file recovery project that we were doing. Unfortunately, they have not been able to meet our needs, so we are asking to engage with a different company to do so. Answer any questions.
Was there any other cost with the previous?
No.
Okay.
Thank you. Roll call please.
Grant,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Kurttenbach,
Yes.
Hall.
Yes. Item 8B, resolution that the change order 003 received from Peters Construction for the Pinecrest renovation project in the amount of $22,057.50 be approved for the chair to sign for the same as recommended by Rory Given, Facilities Director.
Good morning again. This is change order number 3, as you indicated. This additional $22,057.50 will be covered by partly allowances that were included within the bid package, and then also the contingencies that were outside of the bid package. Just to cover a couple, we've already talked a little bit about the electrical one, but just to kind of go through this list real quickly with you. We do have a deduct. There's 2 deducts. One had to do with the demolition of the garage and the concrete slab work for the VA Center. That was actually a deduct of $5,600 and some odd cents. We also had made changes. This came from the owner with regards to the mail room, some of the casework. That was also a deduct, or wall. We had a hallway. That actually was brought up during a inspection from the fire marshal. There's a section of hallway in between the annex area of the building and the main building that needed to be hard sealing with fire rated sheetrock. So that had to be put in place of the drop ceiling that was there previously. Those are probably the biggest ones on this go around. I will tell you, Moving forward, we do have a request to add an additional restroom in the clinic area. We are working on putting that proposal, or with Envision, working on putting that together. So you should be seeing that here soon. We also have some egress exits that originally were outside of the scope, but were brought up by inspectors that they needed to be recertified. And so there might be a slight change in the scope with regards to those two once we get a little further down the road. And then there will be some concrete work in the spring that I'd like to bring in front of you, just so you know. There's some concrete on the north side of the building that I'd like to get addressed, and then also the approach to the main building. There's some areas there that are technically outside of the scope that I'd like to get addressed. One thing real quick, a little bit outside of this particular action item, but I did want to let you know that the elevator, the hydraulic elevator, they did get in there. They were able to get the new shaft put in. So we're at the mercy of the inspector now, essentially, to bring that system back up and running. So we're very close. So that's a good thing. Any questions?
I got one.
Yep.
Do you know, and I apologize for blindsiding you on this, wiggle room for the, regards to the change order? Like how much wiggle room we have left in that?
So we had different line items. We had what's called the allowances, which were pretty close to exhausting all of that. So now we're pulling out of the contingency that was outside of the contract. Just for that particular line item, we're probably right around the $40,000 mark. But we do have other areas within the project. For an example, the furniture came back quite under.
Right.
So if we get to a point where we want to do the concrete, more than likely what I'm gonna ask the board is, can we pull from that particular line item to maybe cover some of these costs?
Okay.
So, right now, we are still sitting pretty good with regards to contingencies to cover just about anything that we might run into.
Okay.
As long as it's, not a huge plumbing related issue or something like that, so.
All right. And then you said with the egress, what was, it need to be recertified?
The egress stairs, actually. It's the stairs on the north side. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but they pull down. There's not a structural engineering company that in this area that really wants to touch them. And so more than likely what we're going to propose is to remove them. We've came up with a new emergency evacuation route for the staff. And more than likely it will not include those stairs. Because by the time that we do find a structural engineer that will be willing to look at them and certify them, then it's what do we have to change on them, and it might end up being like an old truck that we keep throwing money at just to get them up and running, so.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, so more than likely those will be coming off, but I do have a meeting with Envision actually later today to kind of talk through some different ideas on that.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yep.
Need a motion?
Yes, we need a motion.
So moved.
So moved.
All right, got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Kurttenbach,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Hall.
Yes. Item 8C, resolution of the contract extension with Messingham Snow Removal from Waterloo, Iowa, awarded $627.17 for snow hauling services at the rate of $115 per hour for dump truck, $250 per hour for 926 cat wheel loader usage, and $187.50 per hour for the 908 cal wheel loader usage, with a minimum service amount of $800 per occurrence, be approved as recommended by Rory Gemmell, Facilities Director.
This one, per the original contract, does give us the ability to provide or recommend an extension, which that's what we're doing today. Obviously, there is an increase in cost. What I did is I went back to the original bid letting that we had, and the interesting thing is we had one other company bid at that time. The new rates that Messingham is providing to us are very, very close to what the other company did 4 years ago. They do a great job for us. I really have no hesitations on making this recommendation to service us at least for another year. They've done a really good job for us.
When was the last time this? When was the last time
It did
you-
4 years ago, yeah. You know, we've had pretty light winters too, so.
Move to approve.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second, roll call please.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Brant,
Yes.
Kurttenbach,
Yes.
Hall.
Yes. Item 9A, a motion that the personnel requisition for the technology support specialist full-time replacement in the information technology department be approved as recommended by LU IT Director.
So moved.
Second.
Go ahead.
Morning, board again. So Matt Strong has tendered his 2-week notice, so his last day is this Friday, so we are sad to see him go. He's been an asset to our department, but I know he will be successful in whatever he does in the future. So this is just a request to post that position. Answer any questions?
Thanks, Al. This is a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 9B, resolution that the 2025 Weed Commissioners Report be approved and direct the chair to sign for same as submitted by Griffin Kabalka, Blackhawk County Weed Commissioner.
So moved.
Got a motion, can we just get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Go ahead, Griffin.
Morning. This year, start out saying what didn't grow in the right-of-ways. We had pretty much the same thing, but twice as much as what we have been having, just with the amount of rain that we had this year. We've had a few complaints, but not many this year. I actually got ahead of it and called the ones that usually are the complaints, and after the call, didn't have any complaints after that. So that was good. After the 2 agenda items here, I can give my update on just what we did this fall and summer. Any questions on the weed commissioner's report?
All right, so resolution. Roll call.
Brant,
Yes.
Kurttenbach,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Hall.
Yes. Item 9C, resolution of the appointment of Griffin Kabalka as a 2026 Blackhawk County Weed Commissioner be approved as recommended by Kathy Nicholas, County Engineer.
So moved. Second.
My question is, do we have to appoint you every year
Yes,
in that process?
it's a yearly process, so you get to see me at least once a year for sure at this time. Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
You said you did have some other stuff you wanted to.
Yeah, I was just gonna give an update on how our braces season went and what we all, miles covered, things like that.
Yeah, you wanna go ahead.
Yeah, so with our new system that we got with the grant from last year for our spray logging system, it collects all the data in polygon data, so it collects linear feet and acreages. So this year, spot spraying, we covered 212.9 miles. There's 4 switches inside that I can spray, and I sprayed, flipped about 80,000 times this year. So we covered half the county, like I try to do every year. I covered from 63 west, south of 20, and then worked my way north to Independence Avenue, wrapped it around Independence Avenue is where I ended up stopping here the 1st of October. So it was busy. We had good days, not many days that we weren't out there, so that was really nice. But yeah, it was a very busy summer, and we plugged right along, and wouldn't be without the help of Tony Woods and Caleb Reel, the techs, and that also helped out with spraying this season. So big shout out to them. any questions on that. I think there's about, most of the weeds and things that we sprayed were trees, Canada thistle, parsnip, and just common ag weeds is what basically we saw this year. So pretty normal what we see. So is there any questions on kind of the spray season and how that went or anything like that?
I'll just say I appreciate you doing getting a hold of folks ahead of time. I know I had one reach out to me and we
Sure.
problems about spray area.
Yeah.
So
Yep, yeah, and we actually take that back, we did have two, but I went out and sprayed it earlier than my planned route, so, yeah, I think that might have been more
Yeah.
separate, so, yeah.
Griffin, what specifically are you guys spraying?
For a chemical,
Yeah,
it is Milestone, Vaseline, Escort XP, and a little bit of Arsenal in there. It's a mixture that a lot of counties use,
yeah.
kind of for a broad prescription of trees and broadleaf killer, yeah. And if you ever want any of that information, I'd be willing to give you
Yeah,
whatever,
sure.
so, yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Any other questions on that? And then, this year, something that our department, is starting, like a pilot program, is the Living Snow Fence program that we're starting. We have 2 landowners that have signed up and have implemented a standing corn snow fence along Independence Avenue at Holgate. Both of them are, one's like 1,200 feet and the other one is roughly 2,000 feet. So we're very thankful that they decided they wanted to try and help out. Obviously, we do incentivize the people who leave the standing corn fence, so they will get a little bit more than what they would on top of what commodity prices are currently. So we're excited to see. We might not get any snow, so we have no idea if we get any data set or not on it, but that is just one of the main areas that's very large concern for snow removal. We usually have to rent end loaders, things like that, to push drifts and things like that back. So hopefully with this implemented, we see a reduction in the use of those rented machines. Questions on that? Yeah.
one of the town halls has joined Kathy at, they had some folks requested about looking into that. I think that was on Down Street.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if we're able to get a hold of them in time or not, but.
Right. No, and I think as far as see how this program goes and if it takes off, I think it's a wonderful tool that we can utilize to maybe keep guys out of the truck as long as we need. So I think it's very helpful here. So. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, do we have a motion?
Yeah, we have a motion and a second, just need a roll call.
Perfect. Resolution, or roll call, please?
Kurttenbach,
Yes.
Brant,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Hall.
Yes. Congratulations. 9D, resolution to approve request submitted by Andrew Winters to minor plat 5.43 acres, zoned AR, Ag Residential District to A, Ag District, and RS Residential Suburban to allow for the construction of a new single-family home located north of 6124 West Mount Vernon Road, and if approved, that the county auditor be directed to certify a copy of this resolution for the Blackhawk County.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Got a question, Joseph. I know we've looked at this property before. Is there a change in what we're seeing here with this?
No, so before it was just a rezone of the area where they will be building the house. When they do go through a rezone process for creating a developer lot, it then has to go through the minor plat, which comes before use. That's just this process, is creating that plat for the new house and then adding some to the house at 6124 to make sure their septic system stays with that house.
Okay. I didn't know why the two times it came to us. All right. Understand.
All right. Got a motion and a second, roll call please.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Kurttenbach,
Yes.
Hall.
Yes. Item 9E, motion to reschedule the regular Board of Supervisors meeting from Tuesday, November 11th to Wednesday, November 12th at 9 a.m. due to the Veterans Holiday, in compliance with Iowa Code subsection 21.4.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion unanimously carries. Item 10, work session. Discussion, consolidated communications, any update?
Yes, we have received a copy of the answers from the attorney, Ellers and Kuhn. The city's put together our questions, and I don't know if you guys have seen it. I'll get this out if you haven't seen it. So, but it does state that the commission cannot force the county into accepting the 911 commission. So I know there's gonna be continuing discussion. We do have their budget hearings coming up here soon, I think next month. So I know there's gonna be some continuing conversation how we best or look forward to funding our 911 call center.
Good.
Supervisor Kurt, could you provide a copy of that to me as well?
Yes.
Do we have any other reports or information from the board?
I'll just say I enjoyed getting to join Kathy and talking to folks out there with the town hall meetings. We had quite a few at the, it was Hudson, we had one, and then Lowe's out there at Washburn. It was quite a lively crowd and enjoyed the conversation. Did bring up a couple other issues that I'll be wanting to talk with the board about here in the future.
All right. Entertained a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thanks, everybody.
Here you go. I wanted to give you guys some more documents.